Election Day is less than a week away and candidates are busier than ever. We met up with Karen Bass and Rick Caruso on the campaign trail.
Halloween was perfect to satisfy your sweet tooth, but what happens to the leftover treats and wrappers after the gobble and gore? We'll find out.
Annenberg TV News is next.
By this time next week, we will likely know who the next mayor of Los Angeles will be. Hi, I'm Maya Mari Bennett.
And I'm Eric Human Choi. We begin with Democratic candidate Karen Bass, who spoke at a lunch with Latinx voters. She talked about the problem of homelessness in Los Angeles.
And we know that the number one problem in our city is homelessness. Yes. And we saw the extreme rise of Latino homelessness. And it wasn't shocking when you read the articles and see that because so many Latinos were essential workers, that they lost their jobs, got sick during COVID, and haven't recovered.
A handful of Latinx voters met in an intimate gathering at a restaurant in Boyle Heights. They shared a meal and conversation, then listened to Bass speak about the rise of homelessness among the Latino community during COVID-19. Caruso's plan to end homelessness involves housing 15,000 people in tiny homes and another 15,000 in temporary sleeping pods. The LA Times estimated his plan would cost about $660 million a year. Both Caruso and Bass are campaigning across LA during these final days leading up to the election.
Following the mayor's race, journalist Hannah Joy is here with an overview of what has occurred over the course of the campaign.
Polls show that the homeless crisis is the biggest issue in the mayor's race.
And I'm sorry, but Karen's plan is a continuation of what we're doing today.
Okay,
so if you want more of the same, vote for Karen.
And I do have to say that for somebody who has spent his life as a builder, he has never ever built one unit of affordable housing.
Rick Caruso made billions developing luxury resorts and upscale shopping centers like the Grove.
I, Karen Bass.
I, Karen Bass.
The lifelong Democrat served in Congress for more than 11 years and made history as the first black woman to become Speaker of a state legislative body.
For 36 years, he was a Republican. Then he became an independent. Then he became a Republican again. And then 3 weeks before filing, he became a Democrat.
They should look at my track record of what I've done. I left the Republican Party a long time ago, and I did it for a good reason, because it didn't reflect my values.
They do have one thing in common, USC. Both went to school here, but they're also attacking each other on their time spent on this campus.
She got a $95,000 scholarship. She failed to report it in Congress on the paperwork where it had to be reported. She got a degree taking less classes than her fellow students took.
The victims of the gynecologist who sexually assaulted hundreds of students at USC have asked you to release the report. As chair of the Board of Trustees, he committed to do an investigation, to do a report, and then he decided afterwards that he wasn't going to release it.
So far, Caruso has spent $90 million of his own money on his campaign. Bass has received a little over $8 million in contributions and some high-profile endorsements.
We say to the billionaire class, we are sick and tired of your greed.
In the final days of the campaign, candidates are focused on votes in San Fernando Valley. For Annenberg Media, I am Hannah Joy.
In addition to the race for mayor, all eyes will be on the race for LA County Supervisor for District 3. Our politics anchor Daryl Fair has the latest.
Thank you, Eric. The race for the 3rd District has brought in a lot of fundraising dollars and endorsements from some political heavyweights. State Senator Bob Hertzberg and West Hollywood Councilmember Lindsay Horvath are running to replace incumbent Sheila Kuehl. This is a key race as the 3rd District is the only board seat Angelenos will vote for on the November 8th ballot. District 3 stretches from the west side through San Fernando Valley. The winning candidate would govern 1.2 million residents in the county. Former District 3 Supervisor Zev Yaroslavsky says the candidates should be direct in speaking about their plans to address the important issues impacting voters in that district.
They propose to use the powers, the immense powers that a member of the Board of Supervisors has to advance the issues of homelessness, of ending homelessness, of dealing with issues like the pandemic, dealing with issues like the environment, air quality, public safety.
According to the LA County Registrar, both candidates have raised an estimated $7.2 million in campaign donations. Hertzberg has outraised Horvath by more than $5 million in contributions. The board makes decisions to distribute $44.6 million budget to public services countywide, like healthcare, transportation, and the Sheriff's Department. This is your Political Pulse. I'm Darielle Fair.
Thanks, Darielle. Los Angeles is now offering in-person voting through its Flex program, leading up to next week's general election. Reporter Michael Meagler takes us to Boyle Heights, where Homeboy Industries hosted one of these voting sites today.
Voters filed into Homeboy Industries this morning to cast their ballots in time for the upcoming midterm election. Homeboy Industries is a nonprofit in Boyle Heights supporting gang rehabilitation and getting back into society. Homeboy worked with the LA County Registrar's Office to host a Flex voting site today.
Pop-up center where we create a Flex center for people that aren't able to drive off for miles or stand in long lines. We made it here at Homeboy as a safe place for our community to come and vote.
Flex voting sites aim to help bring in disenfranchised voters, and today from 10 a.m. onwards, they're going to be getting people registered and able to vote on site.
Never voted in my life. This will be my first time. I'm excited and angry at the same time.
I feel good. I feel responsible. I brought my ballot and everything.
Voters from across LA are welcome at any Flex voting site, but Homeboy Industries is aiming to create a space where formerly incarcerated individuals feel empowered to vote.
The people who were impacted the most by the system, we were a part of the system. A lot has been taken away from us, and when you're voting, you're giving back that person their power, the power that they never even knew they had.
Today's Flex voting site is staffed by poll workers helping with the voting process, making sure voting is accessible to everyone.
Get them registered, we'll get them voted, and some people miss the deadline, but that does not mean that you can't vote. Every vote counts, every vote matters, so if you can make it out here, come and vote.
LA County will continue to offer Flex voting sites until next Monday. Additional sites can be found on lavote.gov. For Annenberg Media, I'm Michael Mellinger.
For live election coverage from Wednesday's very own myself and Darielle and others, be sure to watch Annenberg Media's YouTube channel next Tuesday, November 8th at 7:30 p.m. for election night's results, reactions, and analysis. The USC School of Social Work opened its first trauma recovery center today. The clinic will offer free mental health services to victims of violent crime. The new program is being funded by a $2 million grant from the California Victim Compensation Board. We spoke with the new program director about the services the center will provide.
The services really range from what the person needs. We really talk about starting where the individual is at. For example, they may not have health insurance, and we can help them work out that with housing and immediate needs and maybe childcare.
Violent crime increased nearly 7% since last year, affecting about 1.8 million Californians, according to the state attorney general's office. The majority of survivors face social and emotional trauma and may have limited access to help.
Sadly, there are more victims of crime across Los Angeles than there are services that can help people recover and heal from the trauma. And there's a particular need for access to services that, you can do from the safety of your own home.
The center has both virtual and in-person services Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Los Angeles County is getting ready for its annual United Against Hate Week. Organizers say this year's event is even more important than usual, following several high-profile incidents of racism.
following kind of what was happening in the city council and other rising hate. Obviously, we've seen a bunch of flare-ups of anti-Semitism recently. We really think this program is more important than ever, and leveraging and rallying people around United Against Hate Week is a really good opportunity to share information about the hotline, the services provided, as well as kind of celebrating and unifying in our diversity and celebrating what a community that stands in solidarity can look like.
This year's United Against Hate Week will feature public artworks, community workshops, and expert panel discussions. There is also going to be special events to train bystanders how to intervene and prevent hate crimes from taking place. This will be Los Angeles County's third United Against Hate Week. It begins November 13th. For more information, go to laversushate.org.
South Korea is facing the threat of a nuclear war. We'll have the latest on the escalation between the North and the South.
This week's Halloween tragedy in Korea has many worried about the future. We spoke to an exchange student about her sentiments.
What about a collaboration between sustainability and music? Learn how USC students are hosting a concert for an environmental cause.
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out? You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write them a text or knit them a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write them a letter. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckle tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
North Korea fired more than 20 missiles last night, and South Korea responded quickly with warplanes firing 3 missiles over the disputed demarcation line. It was the first time a missile landed so close to the sea border since 1948. The South Korean military called the move, quote, unprecedented. President of South Korea, Yoon Suk-yeol, ordered a stern response so that North Korea's provocation pays a clear price. The missiles flew over the Korean peninsula, and the exchange began with missiles launched by Pyongyang. One crossed the northern limit line, a disputed maritime border between the two Koreas. It landed 104 miles away from South Korea's coast. Whether the escalation of the issue in the Korean peninsula or the ongoing war in Ukraine, the world could once again be pushed to the dangerous brink of a nuclear threat. South Korea is mourning the victims of the devastating crowd crush in Itaewon's Seoul, one of the country's worst ever and deadliest disasters. Funeral homes and memorial altars were set up in central Seoul on Monday. Families were in tears and holding white flowers. Others knelt and bowed to the altar. The tragedy took place in a narrow alleyway in the Itaewon district, where crowds packed a street no more than 4 meters wide. 150 people were killed during the Halloween festivities. A student shares her reaction to the accident.
I feel like Koreans should be more cautious about like kind of making congestion, because we are kind of so used to that kind of situation. If I were in Korea, for a very high chance, I might have been that place. Imagining that situation is kind of really horrible.
Calls for accountability have mounted as the nation searches for answers as how such a disaster could have unfolded.
A group of USC students are putting on a charity concert to help the environment and fight climate change. It's called Down to Earth, and it's happening this Sunday at Tommy's Place. Featured performers included Jules Joels, Amita Sky, and the artist June Break. Organizers say the event is a collaboration between students and those who want to take action to support the environment.
We came together and we all decided that we're passionate about saving the environment and doing what we can to contribute to charities that would help the environment. So we decided to make our show themed around, saving the environment.
Combining the fun part of music with like a great cause. And I think it's an important thing to me. I think it's super important that we're like voting for the things that are going to help us reduce the effects of climate change.
All proceeds from the concert will be donated to the Clean Air Task Force, a nonprofit focused on fighting climate change. The concert also hosts vendors Bloom Boutique and Lydia Ace, who will be selling sustainable thrifted products. Doors open at 2 p.m. Tickets cost $5 pre-sale and $8 at the door. Let's see what's going on with the weather. Mariela?
Thank you, Mayo. Welcome back, Trojans. I am here to give you all the weather for the week. So I hope you're all staying dry because we were definitely met with some rain this morning, but we have definitely seen the skies clear up, but the winds are here to stay. Let's take a look at your current conditions. So currently here in LA, it is 5:45 p.m. and we're sitting at 64 degrees, still feeling a little chilly, and temperatures will continue to drop as we go on through the rest of your night. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. So Thursday and Friday, we are in the high 60s, with Friday barely reaching those 70 degrees, but on both days, we're going to see temperatures drop to the 40s. This is the first time this fall that actually we see temperatures drop well below 50 degrees, so make sure to bundle up. So Saturday, game day, temperatures will be really comfortable at 70 degrees with lows in the 40s, so make sure to bring a warm jacket so when the game is over, you are warm as you head onto your car. And then Sunday, we see a little bit of clouds, and Monday, we're expected for some light rain, so make sure to also have that umbrella with you. That is all I have for you today. Make sure to have a safe and fun homecoming weekend as the Trojans take on the Cowbears. So let's toss it over to Julia, who has more for you.
Thanks, Mariella. Here's some food for thought. The Trojans weren't the only ones feasting this weekend. Across the country, thousands of Americans were gobbling up candy to celebrate Halloween, myself included. But have you ever wondered what happens to your leftover candy when the holiday is over? Every year, about $400 million worth of uneaten candy is thrown away in the U.S. As much as we all love our chocolate bars, the plastic used to wrap the candy can't be recycled. This produces large amounts of food and plastic waste, so despite its namesake, the spookiest day of the year isn't all trick or treat, it's also trash.
My roommate and we bought like 3 bags of Halloween candy. Candy wrappers aren't recyclable, so all we can really do is throw them in the trash.
I threw them in the garbage.
The leftover candy, we just brought it to the class for all the kids, and like they all had some fun activity to do. They got candy as a reward, and we made it like a learning experience for them. I know there's a lot of waste in universities, especially in the dining halls, and the amount of food I see going out, it's just insane. So I don't know, I feel like whatever I can do, even if it's small, it's enough for me.
I saw some pretty scary costumes this Halloween, but the candy waste is probably the biggest jump scare. So before you throw away your leftover candy, consider donating it to charities like the Ronald McDonald House or sending it to specialty recyclers like G2 Revolution. Well, Halloween is over, but the spread of the flu is just beginning. Let's toss it over to Eric and Maya to see how you can get over the hump and stay healthy this flu season.
I'm sick and tired might be more than an expression on college campuses these days.
According to the CDC, the number of positive flu tests is higher this season than it's been for the last 13 years.
As if getting over midterms wasn't hard enough, we asked students what they're doing to get over the hump this flu season.
I recently got a little bit sick. I'm not like crazily sick, but I'm gonna try to eat healthier, I guess, and avoid other sick people.
I hear symphonies of coughs and sniffles. I can't. Got my flu shot, taking my antibiotics, drinking orange juice, getting all the right vitamins, sleeping more, because if you're tired, you're just gonna get sick. If I'm too tired to do it, I'm probably just not gonna do it. We're gonna just like revamp my time a different way. Oh, and eating properly.
Relatable. Vaccine appointments for the flu and COVID-19 are available to all current USC students, faculty, and staff at the USC Pharmacy.
And that's it for Getting Over the Hump. We're going to toss it over to sports. Carlo and Joey for more on the news on football.
Thanks, Eric. LAFC looks longingly as league leaders line up for the league laurels in La La Land. Cal comes crawling to SoCal as curtain closes on conference conflict. Soccer speaks spoiler of supreme season success.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Carlo Jimenez.
And I'm Joey Elbaum. The top two teams are playing for first. LAFC welcomes the Philadelphia Union to Bank of California Stadium for the MLS Cup on Saturday. This is LAFC's first ever MLS Cup trip. The Black and Gold advanced to the championship after winning the Western Conference Final at home last Sunday. An Austin FC own goal, along with goals from LAFC's Cristiano Ringo and Mahala Opolu, caused a 22,000-person crowd to burst into celebrations after LAFC beat Austin FC 3-0. Joining me now at the couch is an LAFC superfan, Samuel Reno. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor.
Of course, and just talking to you, it's a big game Saturday, obviously, but this is LAFC, a young team in their fourth year, already going to the MLS Cup. What does it feel like to have your team go into this cup on Saturday?
I mean, can't say I'm surprised. Most successful team since entering the league. No team has had more points in those 4 years. Second Supporters Shield they've won. It's just, honestly, it's about time, if you ask me.
Fair enough. I mean, at the end of the day, LAFC is the top team in the West, but Philadelphia is the top team in the East. How is LAFC going to come away with the crown on Saturday?
Yeah, this Philly team made that Supporters Shield run really tight down the stretch. You know, made them push out because this LAFC team, they were going to break the points record this year. But you know, the way Buonga's playing, they sort of found their rhythm again. That Austin game on Sunday might have been the best team that we played all year. And so the way this 11 that they've got's clicking, I don't see anybody beating us when they come into the bank on Saturday.
The MLS Cup kicks off in LA at Bank of California Stadium at 1 p.m. on Saturday. And now, if that kind of football isn't your forte, I have some good news for you. The USC Trojan football team takes on the Cal Golden Bears on Saturday for homecoming. As always, it's time to meet the opponent. Carlo, who should we be looking out for on Saturday?
Yeah, Joey, I'm starting on defense as Cal tries to slow the top 10 Trojan stampede. Sixth-year senior Daniel Scott is the oldest Golden Bear in the woods and a player to watch. The Southern California native was distinguished as a first-team all-conference selection, according to PFF last year. Scott has honey paws for the Bears with 9 interceptions in his collegiate career. Scott spoke to the challenge USC quarterback Caleb Williams presents.
You know, I think he reads the defense well. I think he makes the right decisions, whether it's in the RPO game or, picking the right receiver, making the right checkdowns.
Scott will try and stop Superman, who has 10 touchdowns in his last 2 games. But Joey, on the offensive end, what kind of bear is best?
What? That's a ridiculous question. My Golden Bear to watch out for is a guy who looked up to Travis Dye in high school. A unanimous midseason freshman All-American, running back Jaden Ott has the potential to maul the Trojans on Saturday. In Cal wins, the SoCal native averages 160 yards per game. In Week 4 against Arizona, Ott rushed for an all-time Pac-12 record of 274 yards. He scored 3 touchdowns in that game. Ott ranks 3rd nationally in yards per game, rushing yards, and rush yards per carry. In losses, however, Ott averages just 67 yards per game. If the Trojans can contain Jaden Ott on Saturday, a win is a much more likely outcome. Now, Carlo, at the end of the day, should be an easier game for USC, a much better team on paper. But what is the key to success? How do the Trojans come away in this game on Saturday?
You have to stop turning the ball over. One thing USC has done excellent this year is avoid turnovers. Only 1 on the season. You don't want to give extra opportunities to Cal, a team who clearly comes in as an underdog into this weekend. Make sure they have the ball for the least amount of times possible and come away with that win.
For sure. I mean, for me, I talked about Jaden Ott looking up to Travis Dye. How about he looks up to him again on Saturday? Travis Dye needs to come out, have himself a game, and show us why Jaden Ott looked up to him on Saturday.
Game is at 4:30. USC women's soccer welcomes in the #1 team in the nation as they face UCLA tomorrow. The Trojans will try and look for revenge after falling to the Bruins in last year's regular season finale. Kickoff is at 2:30 p.m. in McAllister Field. That's all we have for sports. Let's toss it over to Maya with the news.
The Day of the Dead is a time to honor and celebrate traditional Mexican culture. We'll take you live to a Dia De Los Muertos festival next.
Lávate las manos por 20 segundos como Elmo.
Hay algo especial acerca de este lugar. Se siente como un hogar, una sala debajo del cielo y los árboles. Rodeado de aire fresco y la naturaleza. Todo aquí para que lo disfrutemos y para que lo cuidemos. Tenemos la responsabilidad de cuidar de esta tierra que llamamos casa, de preservarla para las generaciones que vienen. Cada acción pequeña contribuye para un cambio mayor y cada uno de nosotros podemos hacer la diferencia. Hay algo especial acerca de este bosque. Es un lugar donde se hacen recuerdos y juntos podemos preservarla y protegerla.
Today is the last day of Dia De Los Muertos, the annual tradition from Mexico celebrating deceased family members and loved ones. Here at USC, students from many walks of life attended a Dia De Los Muertos event at Levy Library. The event offered traditional Mexican candies, arts and crafts, and even a Day of the Dead selfie station. People are celebrating the holiday in other parts of LA too. With more on the special occasion, we go to Stephen Noble live from the 24th Street Theater.
I'm currently on the corner of Hoover and 24th in South LA, where families are gathered to celebrate Dia De Los Muertos. This is the 17th year that the 24th Street Theater has organized this event. And today, the festivities taking place behind me close out the 2-day-long festival with food, fun, Ferris wheels, face painting, all great stuff. And right now, I'm here with Daniel Caballero, a participant of today's event. And Daniel, I'm just curious, could you tell me a little bit about the sort of tradition that this event holds for you?
Well, it's a very special event for the whole community. Me and my family have come here almost every year as possible, and we just come and help and volunteer. And this year is a bit more special for us, but you know, it's just nice to see the community and all the people around here and USC as well to just come and help everyone out, set up, and it's just amazing. And I love 24th Street Theater for it.
Daniel, thank you so much. And it's definitely certain that the 24th Street Theater has brought tradition, culture, and most importantly, community to the South LA area.
Thanks for that, and thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone here at Annenberg Media, I'm Maya Mari Bennett.
And I'm Eric Human Choi. For more coverage, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Have a good night.